Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Nightmare Road. I, of course, am the magnificent Decon, the leader of this tribe. And I, of course, am here with the very, very mysterious.
Oh, you gave me something
That's
nice.
you. That's your
Ash
cue.
Oracle.
I should have
Thanks.
held a cue card.
Oh,
I like them
thanks.
point at Ash.
Okay,
And
and I am
and
here. Uh, bleh.
we we have a guest. We have two guests actually. Here we have the. Are you ready? Jeez. Here we have
Yes, go.
Miss Smokey of the mountains of I'm gonna throw in Appalachia. And then today we have a very honorable guest. We have Beck. I wanted to give her like a cool nickname, but then it's just like that's just Beck. So before we
I think her nickname's amazing.
begin, let's just get our. I think that we're just gonna go and then we're gonna get everything out of the way so we don't have to stop.
Totally.
So this episode has been brought to you by Lottie. So if you guys want to get a nice little witch bag, you guys do the promo code Nightmare and get 15% off any purchase above $35. And also brought to you by the Ghost Man, Sean Burris, the man, the myth, the legend, the very sexy Ghost Man. I don't know about you guys, but when I watch him, I gotta turn on the AC. So the Ghost Man, check him out at shadownationpodcast.com
Wow.
with his brand new show, Groceries and Ghost. Also with the very, very erotic Nate Static Voices. Check out Paranormal Unveiled. Check out his show. He's got a book out, guys. The book is actually amazing. I love to listen to it while I reminisce about my shitty childhood. It's Downloading the Paranormal and All Your Needs. It's a long title, guys, so we'll just put the link in the description. Also brought to you by one more person, please. Okay. By
Oh my gosh.
So check out our stuff. I drew all that shit. So check it out. Get yourself a bad shirt. Get a mug. The mugs turn out good. You know, show my mom that I'm not a failure and be like, look, I bought his mug. So that's it. So today we have
Can your mom even see our merch from where they're at?
Yeah, they visited me not too long ago, and
They have internet there?
no, they don't have internet there where they're at, but they do in the town. But they came to visit not too long ago, and I showed her what I did, and then she kind of looked at me, and then she's like,
Good
"You know,
job.
your brother's a doctor," and I was like, "Yeah, I know." Anyway, so we're gonna speak to our guest here. So tell us. Okay, this is one thing that I'm really curious. Tell us how you got into the world of sorcery and mysticism.
I just want to be sure I'm the one you're asking. Okay, awesome. Hi. So my name is Beck
Yeah.
Ravenswood. I own the Serpent's Key Shop and Sanctuary in Hanover, Pennsylvania. But I first kind of got into mysticism, spirituality, or faith spiritual paths. Ironically, by watching Scooby-Doo of all things.
No way.
Yeah, so I know it sounds really silly, but when I was growing up, I watched the very early 2000s Scooby-Doo movie, Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, which famously featured the Hex Girls, who were Wiccans, right? So I loved the Hex Girls. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be them. And basically from there, with unrestricted access to the internet, kind of like learned about what Wicca was, and started to really deep dive into an alternative spiritual path, like in my teen years, I would say, for sure.
Heck yes.
Yeah, you know?
Awesome. Scooby-Doo of all things, though. I
know.
think you're the first person that has told me that.
It's definitely
Epic.
like I feel like an alternative path into the craft, right? No, just kidding.
Hell yes.
Yeah, damn, what was that episode? I've never seen that.
It was a movie from like 2001. It was super good.
So good.
But yeah, I really loved it as a kid.
I watched the older Scooby-Doo, like the shit that was like from Hanna-Barbera. You know,
100%. Yes.
Oh,
That
heck
also is
yeah.
very sacred to me. But this one was like the specific, I don't know, like the specific instance at the
this is
very
the
least.
one.
Yeah. At least that got
Yeah,
me
I
excited.
can see that.
You know, just
Amazing.
so, yeah, it's man. You know what's crazy is how we are and this is a theory that I have. We are each in our own little path that we begin to walk in something that to other people may seem like insignificant,
Right.
but like to you personally, it's like this is what opened the door, you know. And to another person,
Right,
like, really,
totally.
that's what fucking got you in,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because every entryway, right? I found my path through that, and I think that even if it seems insignificant, right, to the main, like I see that a lot, especially like owning a metaphysical store. People have kind of interesting paths into the craft, but I think all of them are sacred and special in their own way, and it's really fun to hear about.
Oh, definitely.
That's crazy. Okay, so you have a metaphysical store, so
Sure, yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I own what's called the Serpent's Key Shop and Sanctuary. It is basically a witchy consignment store. So we have over 50 different vendors like in the building who are all either practitioners or artisans like from the local area who make all sorts of like art and witchy supplies. So we have everything from like candles and crystals to like stickers, clothes, like basically, if you are interested in witchcraft, we probably have something for you, which is really, really fun. And it's all like very farm to table, I like to say.
Heck yes.
Yeah.
It's really fun, for sure, for sure. Though I do know, like a few
Smokey,
years
you
ago,
had a
like
hippie store, didn't
the
you?
big
Or, like,
store.
have one?
I'm so sorry.
What was that?
Oh, so
when you said
Smokey had a store as well, and she also brought in like local vendors. And when I took my trip to Oregon and went and saw her store for my first time, it had crystals, it had paintings, it had different clothes. It was literally probably the ultimate hippie store. In all
I love
honesty.
it.
It was beautiful.
I didn't saying that because I was like, we just closed our store, but
Yeah.
I was like, oh my goodness, I know what it's like to have that experience and to feel that I brought the community. And just a few doors down from us, there's a mind, body, and spirit holistic wellness.
Yeah.
I became very good friends with it, and the connection was just incredible.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. It's definitely, and especially like Hanover is kind of in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. I like to say we're like the most like the thing we are the most famous for is like pretzels, like Snyder's of Hanover. That's
yeah. You're the pretzel people.
My town is famous for potatoes. I think I would rather pretzels over potatoes.
Yeah, we have Utz potato chips as well.
Them
so
potatoes?
we're Snacktown USA. That is literally the tagline. It's really cute.
Oh,
Yeah, for real. So like having kind of like an eclectic or alternative space to like hang out is definitely really cool.
So is it the kind of space where like people can go in and like just sit and hang out, or is it more of like a store setting where they're just going in, looking at your different items, buying crystals, etc.?
It's actually a little bit of both. So we do have like the storefront area, but then we have kind of like chairs and tables and like a community space as well for people to come like study. And we run a lot of classes and stuff there too, for sure. But it was not always like
Cool.
like right at the beginning. We definitely found ourselves in like a world of I don't know, intrigue and trouble with the local PD. So it's definitely been a long and winding road indeed.
Well, and that was actually how I came across you, in all honesty. I was just scrolling through my TikTok, came across the CNN news story, and I was like,
yeah,
I have got to get in touch with this girl right now.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, that was really surreal and crazy. I like like I honestly like when they contacted me, I thought it was kind of a joke. But yeah, basically, the reason that they wanted to come out and talk to me is that I am in the middle of suing the state of Pennsylvania in order to legalize tarot reading because it is illegal to offer tarot card reading, astrology, necromancy, love spells, or any sort of divination for gain or lucre within the state of Pennsylvania, thanks to a statute dating back to like the 1800s.
Which is so crazy to me because I live in a very high populated LDS Mormon religion area, and I don't even think that's a law here. I see it everywhere.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's also in that in the state of Pennsylvania. I mean, what is the law? It's the gain for, what is it? It's specific. So
it's very specific.
Yeah, so it's for gain or lucre, which is actually, while it sounds specific, it really isn't. So a lot of people I think it just means like monetary transactions, but it could be like asking for donations or like, you know, you can purchase this item and I'll also give you a reading. Like that technically like doesn't
it's
like
an exchange.
hurt the law. Right.
I think it was
so basically your store they're saying is illegal in itself.
Right. Well, anyone offering tarot card readings like is doing so illegally. Yes, for gain or lucre.
Yeah. So 10 years ago they had you guys ever heard of those the evangelists that do healings, and it's like
faith healing and stuff like that.
Yeah, the faith healing. Yeah. So some people were, arrested for doing that, and it falls into the same category. So these people there was a crowd of people, and then somebody said, I have whatever. And this guy came and he's like, can we pray over you, brother? And then he was like, yeah. And then, so these cops just started to show up, and then they said, so you guys are doing faith healing? And he goes, yeah. They didn't get arrested. They more like said, you guys got to leave, or you guys have to vacate within a couple hours, or you guys are going to jail. Right. And it was just, and I wonder, I never looked into it, but I wonder what it is that started that law, because if you look at it, if you really look at that law, they can like, let's say that I have, I don't know, a skill in farming, right? And I'm like, hey man, just come over here. I can mentor you on how to become a great farmer in this land over here. You guys can grow some really good potatoes. If they technically wanted to, they can say like, hey,
about this in theory.
The what?
I said, I'm glad we're just talking about this in theory.
So, like, if I were to say to somebody, like, hey, man, I got these tips. They're pretty fucking awesome. If they wanted to, they can take me to court. And it's like, what happened? Well, this guy over here said that he can, do this in exchange for money. And it's like, well, I said I was going to coach him. So, historically, I wonder something had to start it, right?
Right. So this law is actually like deeply based in like racism against Romani people and travelers who brought this this art form over with their with their practices, with their folk beliefs. It was a way for people to make money that was not necessarily always taxable, right? So it really comes down to control and xenophobia. That is truly where the root of this law lies. And we see that this law was not always on the books. In fact, when William Penn founded Pennsylvania, it was founded on religious freedom. This idea that there were all these witch trials, that's the Puritans. But in Pennsylvania, we had the Quakers, and they were they had meetings of friends, and it wasn't quite as strict, right, until later. And this law actually is under like gambling codes between like horse racing and like lottery tickets, like literally. So
which
it comes down
to
crazy. Like economic suppression, primarily of women, actually, who were practicing this art form and amongst themselves within their own communities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot of it just falls back under the whole we can't tax it. So
right.
There was something when was it? Las Vegas. I think it's the only state where like prostitution is legal because they tax the prostitutes, and then they had to like legalize it, like turn it into a business because they're like, yeah, you know what? We charge them taxes, and then they're like, well, I don't know. At
Okay,
least the IRS is getting paid, so we'll allow it. You know,
but here's the thing though, like, aren't most churches not taxed?
Correct. Yeah. So like, I mean, there's a
Okay,
lot of
so
stuff in there.
why are we being required to be taxable when basically what we practice is a religion? That makes
Right.
no sense. We have freedom of religion as well.
Right.
So-
There's definitely a lot of like weird gray areas within all of that for sure.
Yes.
So but primarily this law is something that has never been enforced on its own outside of like
Mhm.
major fraud cases. So like, let's say somebody is scamming another person out of like tens of thousands of dollars, being like, you have a curse on you and I'm the only one who can lift it if you send me Venmo.
Yeah.
So if it's never been used on its own, it's always been
Mhm.
used to like tack on penalty for a fraud case as it is. So really the only
Okay.
like there's no reason to have it on the law books, and it really only stands to potentially hurt people or be something that in my case, like we had the police chief of Hanover, he never got any reports about me. My store wasn't even open when he came to visit me. Like we hadn't had our grand
What?
opening. Yeah, there was an article that was written by a nonprofit about like, hey, there's this brand new store opening up. He read it the day it came out and then came in to like tell me that it was illegal for me to do that. And if he found out or if I advertised it all, that he would be back to arrest me and throw me in jail for up to a year for every single person that I offered readings to, or charge me $1,500 per person, like per offense, and advertising counted. So he could go back in my social media and like,
And then look at
Stop.
yeah,
and
yeah. And on
That
top
is
of it,
so
he
wild.
on top of it, he denied me my right to record our conversation, and he claimed that it was a private conversation between citizens, even though he was in police uniform with another officer there.
he was in uniform.
Oh no,
Yeah,
no.
he had their like I would say like their casual uniform. Like he wasn't necessarily like strapped, but he had his like it was like a blue polo that said Hanover Police Bureau like on the front, and his like khakis, and
Did
the
he have
officer.
the badge?
Yeah, he did. He had his
He did
badge.
have his badge. Oh, it's so weird.
Yeah.
And,
So he like had he and the other officer were the exact same outfit. Like I have them on my security camera, like literally like walking in. And like, yeah, so there's like a lot of like weird shady stuff that was happening because I wasn't the
That
only
is
store in town. And there were 4 other metaphysical stores already operating in the Hanover like borough and area, also offering tarot readings, but I was the only one who got in trouble.
do you
So
think?
why
Okay,
are you being targeted?
here's the
So
conspiracy.
that's kind of like the big question, actually,
The-
that we've been facing with a lot of this.
Do you think that maybe those other businesses were kind of like, holy shit, I think that she could come in and take, because you probably had like the cooler vibe or whatever, and they're like,
You know,
Yeah.
"We're gonna
I
turn these
don't really
people
think
in."
so. I was friends with a lot. I mean, like, and like legitimately am still friends with like the owners of these businesses. Like,
That's so
Okay.
weird.
and they like were very supportive of me. Like a really dear friend of mine she actually ended up moving her business closer to her house, and it's like really gorgeous. But she has like a beautiful like holistic massage and like wellness center. And like the second I posted within 20 minutes of me posting like, oh my god, this is what's happening to me, she was like at my shop like consoling me, dude. Like it was so the community here is so tight knit. I really don't think it like the call was not coming from inside the house. Like I really think that, and like I have it in writing, like that he read the email,
That he read it.
personal offense, or read the read the article, took personal offense, and then came in because he had contacted the nonprofit who had published the article in the first place, like tipping them off that he was coming to like pay me a visit, and then they immediately turned around and were like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, like you should probably call a lawyer, like we didn't mean this. Yeah, it was, and like
Wow.
it wasn't their fault. Like I love Main Street Hanover, like they're great, like it is a fantastic organization. It was like a brief mention in the last line of the article. Like it was like a fluke. Like it was something that they posted on their Facebook page. Like it was so random. So I don't know, maybe it's just fate or chance or what have you, but it's definitely been, it was quite the way to kick off a grand opening in
Yeah.
DC.
Well, I mean,
oh
it's,
yeah, I bet.
well, I mean, it's fucking publicity, so there's that.
Sure, indeed.
And to answer your
Oh, yeah,
question, Ash,
definitely.
when you said the whole freedom of religion, so it's you have the right to practice your religion. Everybody has that freedom, but I think it would be the equivalent of me charging to pray for people, like saying, like, you want me to pray for you? It's $40, and then they could come down on you and that kind of stuff.
Well, hold on. Look at the LDS religion, though. So I just came across this thing on Facebook. This is a perfect example. So there's this lady, single mom of, I think she said 3 or 4 kids. I can't remember exactly. But she went to the LDS church and asked them, hey, can I get your help? I don't have enough money to pay my rent this month. I don't have enough money for food for my kids. They're these ages, blah, 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 blah. So that church came back and said, if you come to church, donate so many hours, donate so much of your paycheck to our every Sunday little basket they pass around, then they would help her with her rent.
So I think in
How
that
is
case,
not wanting to charge?
well, I think it's because like when they look at something
So
like
fucked up.
tithing or a donation, I think they can write it off to the IRS like this is a, you know, it's charitable work, when they're utilizing a lot of loopholes, but still like it falls under that same practice where like in, you know,
Yeah.
in Pennsylvania, like they say like, yeah, you can have your store, you can have your religion, but if you charge, you know, for anything. So man, I'm trying to see like what, it's such a hard law because it doesn't just fall under one category. It's like those people that were doing faith healing, like they threatened to arrest them too. And it's
True.
one of those things where it's like, who, and like you said, it's not enforced, so it's almost like they have to pick and choose
Correct.
who
Yeah.
enforces this and who enforces. I'm pretty sure that they turn a blind eye to a lot of shit. It's the whole
Right. I mean, if you go to Gettysburg, which is about 20 minutes away from where I'm at, which is, I mean, very haunted and very spiritual.
I would love to go there.
It's beautiful. I love Gettysburg. It's a very heavy place to be, so I don't go too frequently. But when I do go, it's lovely.
I really think I would only be able to go there once, and then I'd probably be done.
Yeah, but it's definitely worth the trip for sure. But they do have like several metaphysical stores that I frequent and like would have my cards read at before I even had my own establishment. That literally say like tarot, psychic, and like a big arrow that like point inside, and like so.
like New Orleans.
Right, and you know, I even have like for myself, like in order to like have a reading with me, you have to go through like a scheduling process through my website where like you check off a box that literally says like, I understand that Beck is not like a doctor, a lawyer, a candlestick maker, like all of these things, you know?
Yeah.
And that, you know, this is subject to your interpretation. Like I am just, like I even say for entertainment purposes only. And you have to almost sign like a waiver, which is actually something that someone advised me to do. And I swear she like accidentally jinxed me because I asked, I was like, how do you get around this? Like, I come to you for my card readings all the time. Like, you're not locked up. But she goes, well, I have my entertainment. Well, first, what she said to me, she goes, oh, darling, I've been in the business longer than you've been alive, and I've never had any problems with it. And I was like, okay.
Good for you.
In that moment, I knew, I was like, I'm not that lucky. Like, so I had like this really big disclaimer because, and here's the truth, like I am not any of those things. I went to art school, dog. Like, I am not this like wise divine being. I just happen to have a knack for reading tarot cards, just like people who are really, really good at algebra might be really, really good at doing algebra. So this is a skill that anyone can learn and is accessible, I believe, truly.
Yeah.
However, I do also think that I have the right to like make a living in the way that I see fit, especially when it is like so open and consensual and like it's not hurting anybody. Like,
There's got to be a loophole there. Like, you got to, you know what? There's got to be a way to get everything. It's all loopholes.
there is, I have kind of found a temporary loophole like while I'm in litigation. So basically, because I am challenging the law on the books, the government, like the Hanover Borough, has granted me a little, like a witch's license, essentially, which is that says that I am the only person in Pennsylvania right now who's legally allowed to read tarot cards. But I have to stay within Hanover Borough, which is conveniently where my shop is located.
Yeah.
So
I would love to have that title though. To have like the state you live in say you are that
the
witch
only
that
person
can do this. I would
I'm
be like, yeah, this is what's up.
You should,
right. It is
should get it
definitely
framed.
humbling. Like,
Put it on
it
the
is
wall.
definitely a very, I'm like, oh my God. But like, the point is, I don't want to be the only one who can do that. Like, I don't want
Granted.
anyone to have to like go through the BS that I'm having to deal with, like, because it's not fun.
Yeah, but I mean,
No.
you may have to be the only one for now, since like you're
Right.
the only one that's actually getting put through the, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, everybody else is just practicing and they're fine.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
And hopefully, like, you know, like at the end of this, there will be, you know, your right to read. Like, that's kind of the goal here.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
I'm
and
not.
I think that this could affect the whole country too. Like if there's other states that have
Yep.
this law,
There
maybe
are.
they'll look into it and be like, okay, maybe we need to change this.
Yes, there are 7 other states right now that still have like either partial or complete bans on fortune telling, which is like so crazy. But one of the most recent states, I believe, to legalize it was Virginia, of all places. So
Yeah.
I really think that it is something that, you know, these laws are old. It's from 1861. That's when the Civil War started. Like, what are we talking about right now, you know? And in the name of government efficiency or whatever you want to call it, I think that these old laws kind of need to be readdressed and refocused or re-examined with the lens of a 21st century like morals and convictions and sensibilities. Like,
Right?
No, that makes it dangerous, because then at that point it no longer becomes, well, I'm serious, because then that falls under the lens of whose morality, you know, it falls into. So
Right.
that's why that's how we have the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, because that way we have something that's cemented, and it's something that can be deemed unconstitutional, and it doesn't matter what your opinion is, what your viewpoints are, you're protected by the
Right.
old document, right? We're the only
that is
country.
kind of what, and that's like what our argument is that
Yeah.
this falls under First Amendment rights. Like,
Yeah,
that's, you know.
It should fall under, it should go federal instead of state, you know. And and that makes sense. And what I was gonna say is, this is why this is the only country in the world that pledges their allegiance to a document and not a person, you know. And then that's what makes this country amazing, is the fact that, you know, we do have a constitution. The Constitution protects every single citizen. That way somebody can't just come in and be like, well, you know, I don't like this today.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I think this is great. The fact that you do have this license, and right now you're the only person that's, and I think that you should frame it and put her up on the wall. I mean, it's a nice trophy, but also
hell yeah,
it's a reminder that could actually help protect you, you know, and anybody in the future, right?
Right.
So, because what ends up happening, like, let's say that they're like, we can't target this person anymore because they're licensed. They're like, well, let's go try to do this to somebody else, and they won't, because it's like, okay, so what keeps these people from also trying to acquire the same things? So I think that's how change happens, you know, little by little.
Right.
You know, so
well, and she's not just working on protecting herself, she's working on protecting the rest of us that practice. Like, in all honesty, and the state that I live in, Decon, here in the same state, it's a little bit scary to practice in the
Yeah.
state that I'm in because I am surrounded by a very highly populated LDS religion area. So it is a little bit scary to like outwardly say, hey, I practice. Hey, I do this. I've
Right.
gotten a little bit more comfortable with it, but it's still a little bit scary though. And I feel it does fall under the freedom of religion, but at the same time, you still get that judgment.
Yeah, and it's not me, bro. I fuck people up. I'm kidding. No, I hate violence. But it's one of those things where yeah, you do get the judgment, but what happens when what?
I said bad. In
Oh,
the area that we're in, it is bad.
who cares? I mean, shit. Like when you look at a bed of roses and there's that one pink rose amongst all the red roses, which one stands out and is the most admired? Is it the one that blends in? Like, no. It's the reason why going back to tarot really quick. I was going to go into the card of the Fool. There's a reason why the Fool has the white rose in his hand. So back in the day of the Romani people, so if you grew your own roses, right? What they would do is you had a batch of roses and there was one white rose or a yellow rose amongst your little thing. What they would do is they would take it, clip it, and throw it out, because what we're selling is this bouquet of red roses. This is the standard. So the card of the Fool portrays innocence. What's interesting is the Fool in our English language, they attribute it to somebody that's ignorant or stupid, right? The word fool in the Latin or in Spanish is inocente, which means the innocent. So you're not corrupted, you're more purified because you're going off of your own instinct, which is why the Fool in some cards he's blindfolded. He's relying on his own instinct to walk. He's not influenced. So the fact that he's picking up this white rose in the midst of all these red roses means that this person has found beauty in something that doesn't blend in, and it's something that for himself, there's a purity to it. So that's why it's the best card. It's like it's the uncorrupted card. So
makes sense.
Yeah, it's my favorite card. Anyway, so going back to tarot,
my favorite card.
When did you start doing tarot?
So I started learning it around the time that I got into witchcraft. My grandparents took me to an exhibit on illuminated manuscripts, and they had a tarot deck, like all laid out, like in the museum. And of course, when you're a kid, what do you do at a museum? You go to the gift shop.
Yeah.
And they had my grandparents were, of course, like, you could pick out you could pick out anything you want, just like one thing to bring home as a memento. And I picked out a tarot deck. It's a reproduction of the medieval Scapini tarot deck. So you can buy it on Amazon and stuff now, I guess. But at the
Those
time,
were hand painted.
It wasn't hand painted. It was definitely printed.
No, I mean the original.
The original ones, yes,
Yeah.
everything was hand painted, and in fact, it was seen as like a status symbol. So all of the different types you'll see, like the Visconti tarot, the Sforza tarot, they're all named after very prominent Italian families in the Renaissance, because they were the only people who were rich enough to afford to have a hand painted. Because it's 78 cards. Can you imagine?
Yeah, it's 78 cards. You hired
78
painters.
Yeah, right. Or not 78. Oh my goodness.
That's a lot.
There's 27 the major arcana,
right,
and the minor. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
So what's awesome is that back then, if you wanted to have the closest thing to a family album, is you looked at the family's tarot card, because a lot of these cards were painted after the family members.
Mm-hmm.
So what's awesome is the fact that you have all of these tarot cards, and you got to think, back in the day, to acquire a deck, either you did it yourself or you had to find somebody to do it for you. So, and and just the fact that you can play with cards or you can read cards to somebody and they're looking at these cards and like, wow, this card kind of looks like you, and you're like, that's because it is me, you know. And it's
well,
like
even Pamela Coleman Smith, who designed the Rider Waite tarot, like the figure that we see in the world is actually based off of a friend of hers who modeled. So she would like hide.
oh no
like,
shit.
Yes, she would hide her friends' faces in a lot of the cards. So if you look at some of them, they're actually famous actresses from around the turn of the century. So it's really
cool.
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
Damn,
Becom, I have a new project for you.
what is it?
I need you to make an entire deck of tarot cards.
I started
with
it.
My face
Oh,
on
not that.
every deck, on every card. I
Have
need
you
my
seen
face
my
on every
art?
card.
I started a deck.
I don't care. Just make a deck with my face on every card.
You're gonna be the tower, upside down.
I want every card. I don't mean just the tower card. I want to be on every card, even the death.
Yeah, no, you don't want to do
New
that.
project, dope.
Put you on all the cards of bad decisions. Anyway, no, and it's what's awesome
Valid.
is that you have all of these the way that people read tarot, they each have their own style. And when you look at people that have been doing it for so long, you know, if you stop looking at the cards and actually look at the way they shuffle, look at the way that they read them, there's an art to it. And there's small things too that you notice. There's people that have been practicing reading tarot for 40 something years, right? And then you watch that the way that they're shuffling and the way they move their fingers before they flip every card, it's almost like you just lose yourself in not just seeing what, you know, looking at the cards, but the way they shuffle, the way that they draw, you know. And then you start, and then it's kind of fun watching people that have been doing it for a long time, because you notice they each have like their own signature, you know, on how to do it. And it used to be we look at it now like it's such a small thing. Back in the day, having your own signature way of reading, they could tell you, the Romani people, they could tell you who gave you a reading by the way they move their hands. They could tell you who did a reading by the little ritual that they did, you know, like who did this. I couldn't tell you, you know, who it was. How did they move their hands? Well, they put one hand up before they drew. Oh, I know exactly who that is. You got to read from this person. Did they look like this? Yeah. You know, they each had their own style, and it became like a little network, you know. And
I think my favorite thing that I've learned throughout this whole process is that there was a woman that everyone over the age of 50 has told me about, and her name was Old Aggie, and she used to read playing cards. And they said apparently the police used to chase her out of everywhere that she popped up too. So they were like, well, she must be giving you some good luck or whatever. Like it's very cute. So I do see like that sort of ancestral tie of, well, Old Aggie read playing cards. It wasn't tarot cards. It was playing cards. And I think, which you can totally do with tarot.
Yeah.
Like I if you know tarot, you can read playing cards.
Yeah, you can read playing cards. Tarot cards originally were playing cards.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's just really interesting. And I'm sorry, my cat is jumping up on the couch. Apologies.
I locked mine out for a reason.
But yes, and it's really interesting to see kind of that even now in the modern era, like that, oh well, there is that kind of notoriety of this one woman who read playing cards. It was just really interesting and cool. So I light a candle for Old Aggie every so often. I'm like, I still remember you. Thank you.
Oh, I love it. That's so great.
Mysticism is so romantic in a lot of ways.
It really
that you
is.
Romanticize, you know, because we lose so much of the old ways of a lot of things, not just reading tarot or anything mystic. I mean, working on a farm, the way you do your job, the way you work on anything, you know, we lost a lot of that, and we swapped it out for an instruction manual that tells you this is how you do it, you know, and then this is how you follow. Then what do you get? You get an assembly line of just nothing, you know. There's no uniqueness, you know. So how do you feel about, because I know one person that when they read tarot, the way that they shuffle and draw cards is they go by feeling.
Precious kitty.
I know. I'm so sorry. She's
I
promise
love
she's
it.
fine.
Bring the cat on. It is perfectly fine.
Yeah, I
She
got
has.
some idiot
She'll make her
back.
way back over.
Anyways,
Otherwise,
so
like if I pick her up, she'll be like, meow. Like she just is very dramatic. You can see. I'm so sorry. Anyways.
yeah, so I know this person that when they draw their cards, when they read tarot, they go by feeling, so they're able to take the cards and then just kind of like go over, and it's like this one, not this one, this one, not this one, this one, not this one. They were able to pull it and actually be, and we ended up doing like a kind of like let's keep track, and the readings were accurate 20 out of 20 times in one set. It was ridiculous. I'm like, holy shit. And it's like, how are you doing that? Because I'm big on numbers and all that kind of shit. And I'm like, what are the odds?
Right.
And they're like, no, there's no odds. It's just they go by feeling. So I grew up in a country where a lot of the mysticism that's lost in this country, it's still over there to this day.
Yeah.
You know, and it's oh man, sorry, now I'm getting a little nostalgic here. So
are you gonna cry?
No, man, I'm not like that. Oh, so anyway, so when you like in this country, for example, right? If you tell somebody you believe in magic, you believe in the paranormal, they tell you that without calling you, they call you an idiot. Like, what do you believe in all this shit? What are you, an idiot? In El Salvador, if you tell them that you don't believe in magic, they call you an idiot. You don't believe in magic and mysticism and yeah, what are you, an idiot? Something wrong with you? You know, and it was just a culture shock going from that to, you know, people talking about all of these practices and they're getting them out of history books, like out of old things. And I'm like, holy shit, like you guys lost this, you know, like this is lost and it's very alive somewhere else. And it's kind of sad, you know, to see that kind of stuff. Because
it is,
you know, it did form a community, you know, amongst people. You know, when people say, like, when you sneezed and somebody said bless you, they meant it. It wasn't just a formality, right?
Right.
So what's crazy is, so the gal that does my nails, for example, she does a lot of yoga. She'll do sound baths for me. She does all this sort of stuff. But when she found out that I practiced witchcraft, her first comment was, be careful with what you're getting into because you have children. You have a family. And it's like, okay, that tells me you don't understand it, because as I feel, as someone that does practice, I'm sure Beck feels the same way. You know how to protect yourself.
Right.
You know how to protect your family. You know how to keep that negativity out. So it's the way that people look at people like us who do practice on a daily basis is, it's sad, because everybody says, oh, we have the freedom of religion, we have this and this and this. But as soon as you get onto the subject of witchcraft, that's when,
There's
you're letting negativity in, you're letting demons in, you're letting all this stuff in, when it's not even like
really
that.
believe in hell like in the way that a lot of people believe in hell. So
Exactly.
yeah, like I'm not really doing demonolatry or anything. Like that's not for me. It's not that it's not a good, like an incorrect practice. It's just not mine.
No.
Like I really like the moon, yo. Like
Yes, go ahead, just call it incorrect.
Yes. Thank you. I rely on the moon.
Miss Smokey, what kind of can you hear us?
Oh.
Are you with us?
Yeah.
So in your store, did you ever get people that practice sorcery and all that kind of stuff?
I went in there.
Just a couple stores down from me, there was a holistic wellness store, and the people that visited, you got people of all kinds. Like there was the space that I worked at, there was a fellow who walked around in a wizard costume all the time, and he made his costumes, and
that's cool.
He was the coolest
I
fellow.
love Oregon.
He had his staff, and he walked around different outfits and like, welcomed where I'm at. Like there
Like this
was
one.
when my friends first opened their store, there was a couple of people that were leaving like negative notes under their door. That and once it was reported to the community and found out, the community came and just formed her store, supported her like there was no other community has ever supported someone in that way. That I feel they just everyone clung to them and were like, no, we understand you, we got you. Like we're not allow these people to shut you down because a few people are negative about it.
Yeah. And that's been also like the response that we've gotten. Like, I feel like as soon as I posted it on Facebook, like every mom within like a 5-mile radius of downtown Hanover was like, no, that's my weird baby. You don't get to be mean to them. Like, get out. Like, it was so sweet. So like, I have had so many like very healing, very like positive interactions. And I think it's kind of given us the opportunity, like as a community, like a witchy community, to say like, hi Hanover, there's a lot more of us here than you thought. And also we're not all like terrible people. We're actually like your neighbor and your lawyer and your banker. Like, you know, so it's been like this kind of really beautiful, like, yes, we're always going to face, like, I think there's always going to be somebody, like, no matter what you're doing, there's always going to be someone who doesn't like it. You know what I mean? But I think that, like, I don't know, it's almost become like an urban legend amongst teenagers to come into the witch store and see, you know what I mean? So it's been a very positive, I think, really, like overall, like net positive experience for not only myself, but like the community at large, which is kind of funny that it all started with someone having sour grapes about what we were doing.
And in all honesty, I think that, you know, I myself, as a person that studies witchcraft,
Sure,
I am open to accepting other religions. Like my dad's side of the family, they're Mormon. My stepmom's side of the family, they're Catholic. So if we could all just accept each other and say, hey, you believe in this, I believe in this, let's just call it a day, that would be great. But you have those people that aren't like that are unfortunately attacking you for being. It's so funny. So wild to me.
It's so funny too, because we offer a Bible study like with a pastor that I'm like friends with. So like we do offer that, and people still get mad at us because they're saying that like that I'm like corrupting the Bible or whatever. And I'm like, I'm literally just trying to include you guys, but whatever,
it's just a different interpretation. It's a different opinion.
I'm not even the one
reading it. Exactly. And it's like I wish more people would understand that.
You know?
It's just there's just miserable, bitter people like in every creed and everything. And that's one thing you accept that. Historically, here's a fun fact. So back when
oh God, here we go.
So back when Italy was actually divided, when you had people that were Protestants and you had Catholics, right? So you had the Catholic Church began to ban all. So they divided the country, right? This is just kind of like Ireland now, right? Ireland, there's Protestant and then there's Catholics, right? So same thing had happened. So there was these people that were the Romani people, and the Romani people were, you know, reading cards on the Catholic side of the country. So the Catholic Church actually came down and wanted them executed. So they ran to the Protestant side of the country, right? And these were people that they believed that biblical doctrine should not be it should not be in the control over one man, which is why it was such a big divide when the Bible was actually translated into, you know, it was translated into German, it was translated into English. It wasn't just in the Latin. So what ended up occurring was these tarot readers went and they fled to the Protestant side. So then here you have the Catholics with their armies actually march to the border and are like, you need to hand these people over. because if they need to be put to death because they're defying the Pope. So that these Protestants like came over with their army and are like, no, we're not going to do that. They're saying we refuse to turn anybody in because your so-called king, so it almost became what they called the War of Terror. So here you had the Catholics trying to go to war against the Protestants, over the freedom of religion, in that sense back then. So here you had, they took refuge with people who, a lot of people are like, why would they take refuge? Because it's not all people that are bad. Some people are just douchebags, and that's it. And what sucks is that we now live in a time where a lot of Christians are being labeled like they're the monsters, right? Like it's you Christian. That's not true. It's not all Christians. It's a group of people. Like I said, douchebags in every creed, right? So here you have people that were seeking, almost went to war over somebody practicing tarot, and who defended them? It was you're right there, Miss Smokey. So you have, so here anyway. So the point I was trying to make is that the point I was trying to make here is that you don't demonize somebody just because of their religion or what they practice. No, we judge people based on their actions and how they feel. It's just like what you were saying. You had, a pastor, doing Bible study, in your store, obviously this person was not, and if people get upset, that's how you weed away the douchebags and the non-douchebags. It's like, who's getting upset? Well, now you know who you are, and in the end, that's what it is. It's
weeding out the douchebags.
Well, I mean, that's what it is. I mean, there's douchebags in everything, not just in certain things, in everything, every type of religion. Name your religion, there's douchebags in there. I've met Catholic people that, are really nice, and then I've met others that are not so nice. I've met people that are pagans that are nice, others that are not so nice. It's just, and I think that the moment that we begin as a people to kind of look at each other in that way, as people, we're not going to go anywhere. We're still going to keep our little borders up. And I think that something like this, where a community can come together and be like, hey, this is shitty. Why is this person being treated this way? You just really need to reflect and understand. It's like that old poem when that happened during World War II, right? When it said, first they came for the Jews, and I said nothing because, I wasn't a Jew. Then they came for the Protestants, and I didn't say anything because I wasn't a Protestant. Then they came for the Gypsies. I didn't say anything. And then in the end, it's like, and then they came for me. So I think that if people, and no one said anything, because there's no one left. So if we look at it like this person is being mistreated because of their practice, guess what? You could be next. So I think this is why it's important for people to come together as a community and stop having these little borders with each other. Just open up, understand each other as people. And you do need to see it like that. Like, holy shit, like they're going after this person. Who the fuck is to say they're not going to come after you? Right.
Exactly. Like, who's to say that they're not going to be like, oh, well, you guys gather money during Mass. We should be taxing this. You guys do this. You guys do that. But how is it different from what Beck is doing? That is what's so wild to me. Is it's no different than what you're trying to do.
Well, thank you. And hopefully, like, at the end of this, like, no one will have to worry about anyone coming into their store and accusing them of being a witch. Kind of what happened.
Well, I feel that is, I'm going to sound like a millennial here, but that is just so freaking old school.
Yeah.
We had the Salem witch trials. We had all of this stuff. Get over it. We all have different practices. We all practice different things. Why can't we just coexist and accept each other? Why does one person have to be persecuted because they're practicing tarot? It makes no sense.
I know, it's silliness, but I am excited to hear kind of like if that is revealed at any point during the trial, just because it'll be interesting to hear. Indeed. But they've definitely like dragged it out a lot. They've tried dismissing my
Mhm.
case, but we're finally moving into the next like the most formal part of the trial so far, which is discovery, where they get to go through all my documents.
Yeah.
Be like, here's all of the evidence.
Keep me posted. I
Yes, for
definitely
sure.
want to hear how it's going. Keep me posted, and I'll keep our viewers posted as well.
Awesome. Indeed.
Because this needs to be talked about, because it's something that shouldn't even be going to trial. Like,
Right.
you should have this freedom to be able to express what you believe in. And the fact that they're not willing to accept that just because people are offering you monumental gain over it,
Right.
it's just silly.
It's all good. Luckily, I'm pretty sure that this is like I think we have a good case against it. You know what I mean? Like, I think that we have a pretty good argument moving forward, and I'm really excited to see like what happens next, for sure.
Oh,
your
I'm
license,
excited for you.
With your license to practice, does that have an expiration date, or is that just?
It is for the duration of like litigation against, like, as long as I am challenging the law in court, I am allowed to read tarot cards, meaning they can't use that law against me because I'm challenging it. So they can't just turn around and be like, when I'm already being like, hello, you're not supposed to do that. So
Take
as long as
power.
I'm in court,
Yeah, see, and I mean, that's a damn. You should drag this out. I'm kidding.
Well,
No,
hopefully the ending is that I won't need that anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like that's
No.
the ultimate goal.
And good for standing up for yourself and doing what you think is right.
Yeah.
People would have just been like, okay, well, I feel like where to turn. I'm screwed.
Right. And that's kind of like what I was faced with is like, okay, like like to be super real, it sucked. Like, it wasn't fun to, like, you know, have to go through. And I don't really want anyone else to have to go through something like that. Oh, Jinxie, I'm so sorry. Come here.
My cat's here too. It's fine.
I'm a witch. We have cats, you know.
We have cats. It's fine.
She's Miss Independent this evening.
I'm not a
But
witch.
I would hate for anyone else to have to go through it because it's stressful, dude. And like, and for what? Like, and for what purpose? Because they weren't ever like, they were never gonna follow through on that, dude. Like, let's be super real.
No.
Like, that was just them being, you know, bullies or whatever, and that's fine. Like, I was bullied in high school. I've been there. I get it. But we're adults. So, like, you know, the principal is going to be like like your honor, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's just, yeah, and hopefully everything goes good. I mean,
Thank you.
but I think that stuff like this is really important because it should be, you know, it should be one of the things where, you know, you have rights, you know, as an American citizen, and nobody should come around and just, you know, trample you because they feel like it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And the problem that people have nowadays is that they get so discouraged. I mean, because either they get discouraged because they're like, fuck, like I can't take these people on in court. I don't have the money. I don't have that. And it's like, look, man, like you don't need to have the money to go. Yes?
Are you
raising your hand?
I just have something to say.
What?
She has something to say. Let her speak.
Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Just the whole thing is, I am from the East Coast, and I don't know if where you're at considered a part of the Bible Belt still. But when you're in that area, it's people are stuck in their ways. They don't want to change. They don't want things they're not familiar with. They don't want to allow anything different coming into their areas. They want the same. They want their people to live the same. They don't want change. They don't want it's be in that the way you are stage.
Yeah. And I mean, and yeah, the area that she was in, I mean, fuck, like
Yeah,
Yeah,
So-
we're in like Appalachia, I would say. I grew up in Virginia, which was more so the Bible Belt than where I live, I feel, but like where I
That's
am
where
currently.
Miss Smokey grew up.
Yeah, can't you tell by the glasses?
That's so funny. I didn't know that. That's amazing.
But yeah, I mean, but again,
Wow,
that
crazy.
a different time. That's like with the Bible Belt, right? Same issue, different group of people. I mean, when you had people that went through there to, practice their, their religion, like when you came in there, like you were Baptist, the Quakers were not gonna allow anybody to come in and like uproot them or even be next to them.
Right.
Same thing with the Puritans. I mean, holy shit, they went to war, and it got to the point where a lot of people got really discouraged. They're like, holy shit, why am I even gonna? You had traveling pastors that were saying like, fuck, we got to go around here because if we don't, we might get murdered by the damn Quakers. Isn't that insane to think? And eventually what ended up
Yeah.
happening was enough people were like, okay, enough's enough. If this is what you want to fight, this is what we're gonna do. I mean, fuck the great battle of 1890. We're gonna take a stand and we're gonna battle this out. And they're like, you know what? This isn't even worth the issue. You guys can stay. And it's just another phase, just something different that's gonna come around. And eventually I think that they're gonna do the same thing. They're like, you know what? This isn't worth the fight. Just it's in their history. So you could just go, what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm trying not to go on a tangent here when it comes to history. So I'm trying to-
You did kind of, but it's fine. I'll forgive you for now.
yeah, well, I gotta educate the people too. Come on. No, but what I was trying to say earlier is that, like, yeah, people out there get discouraged because they feel like almost like an ant fighting a giant, and they're like, what the fuck? But things like this is important because they do have constitutional rights. And you're like, you know what? I don't give a shit if these people have more money, more power. I have the right as an American to practice what I believe, to do what I believe is important. And enough people, yeah, his name is Titan.
Titan
Amazing.
wants to say hello. Can you let him say hello, please?
No, get out of here.
What if he wants flower? What if they're like meant to be?
No, this guy's a savage. This guy,
So
yeah, there's not a mouse in this house. That rhymed. Anyway, so yeah, so this is important because, like I said, this week it's you. Next week it could be somebody that makes their own
Right.
candles.
Right.
And it's important for people to understand, like, it's not a losing battle, like, and also for those people to be like, fuck, I don't think these people are going to take it anymore,
Right.
So it could go federal, and it could be like, you know what, we're just going to back off and just kind of like let people do whatever they want to do. Because like I said, they're coming for you. Who the fuck is to say that the candle guy, the soup guy is not next,
Right. Right. So that's again why I wanted to be like, okay, so the buck stops with me, actually.
Works out.
Be
Thank you.
nice to Titan.
I'm
God,
not squeezing them. Anyway, holy shit,
he's precious.
it's only been an hour. I thought that it's been 20 minutes.
Hey,
So
him
anyway.
and Flower are meant to be. She's
No, they're not.
six. They can't make babies, so
why?
she's six.
Oh, he doesn't care. He'd be like, hey, come over here, baby girl. I got kids all
She
over the
came
damn
from
place.
the Humane Society. She came fixed. Huh.
Oh, not this guy.
Yeah.
Kind of from a farm. Anyway, so that's it, guys.
I
That's
don't
the
want to
show.
know.
I hope you guys enjoyed it. This actually was fun. I
Thank
had a
you.
good
Yeah,
time.
thank you for having me
This was
on.
awesome. Beck, thank you so much for
Of course.
coming on. I have been so excited to have you on. Like, yeah, this is
Thank
just
you
something.
so much, dude.
to
I
have
really
you on.
appreciate it. It was awesome to be able to talk with you guys, for sure, for sure.
Do you have anything to plug?
I always get flustered when people ask me this. I'm like, but if you guys wanted to follow us, you can follow The Serpent's Key over on like Instagram or on Facebook or over on my TikTok at The Stitching Witch, just because I honestly don't have the bandwidth for more than one TikTok account, to be really real with you.
I run
but-
too. I feel you.
Yeah, I like one's enough for me. But yes, like anything that we're doing is posted on there. We do a lot of really great like full moon, new moon, and holiday like ritual circles at the shop. So if anyone wanted to join, those are all free, and we'd love to have you.
All right, awesome.
So
We'll
wait,
leave,
do you do those live?
So those are for I mean, if anyone's in Pennsylvania or in the surrounding area, we do them like in person. I'm trying to figure out a way to do more online events like that, but I do, because we are in such a conservative area, privacy is a big concern. So we do tend to keep things like small and in person, just in case anyone's parents are watching. No, I'm just kidding.
And it is your Fourth Amendment right to privacy.
Right.
So yeah, so that's we're gonna leave your information in the description of the show. So if you guys are
Thank
more
you so
interested, we're
much.
gonna put that link, and you guys can you should join our Discord and just plug all your shit on
Yeah.
there too. So anyway, thank you guys for joining us. And what?
Nothing.
I'm trying to closet the show, and you're over there giving me
I
faces. Anyway, so
Nothing.
thank you guys for joining us, and remember to always look both ways, especially if you find yourselves on Appalachia.
Okay, bye.
Bye.